Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rabbit and Red Reviews. I'm Eric. Macallan Edition 3 is what we'll be taking a look at today. So to kick things off, for those of you not familiar with the Macallan Edition series, that started a few years back and is really a series, according to Macallan, that is designed to kind of explore their innovative techniques, moving beyond kind of just the traditional wood casking and bringing in folks from outside the whiskey industry to lend their expertise of their craft into the crafting of these single malt scotches at Macallan, and really trying to just explore new things and offer folks something a little bit different. So the Macallan Edition 3, which I believe this came out in 2017, we're currently on Edition 4, which came out in 2018, and here in the beginning of 2019, we're just getting news about the Macallan Edition 5, which should be coming this year. So before we get into the nose, taste, finish review, talk a bit about the value and score it, tell you a little bit more about the Macallan Edition 3 itself. So this is what the box looks like. It's a very big yellow box. You'll notice all the Edition series come in kind of a bold color. All right, so here's what the bottle looks like, kind of classic Macallan looking bottle. So this is bottled at 48.3% ABV, so it's packing a pretty good alcohol by volume level, so that's very encouraging. There is, however, no mention on here of natural color or non-chill filtration, so we'll just go ahead and assume that they've maybe added a bit of color to this and it's been a little bit chill filtered. Also, this is a non-age statement Macallan, so not quite sure how old the whiskey is in this. So regarding the Macallan Edition 3, so this one has actually was crafted both by the master distiller at Macallan, and they also brought in a master perfumer. To add a little bit of their expertise to the crafting of this malt. And so the box here has a lot of information about this single malt itself. I will just share some of the most important stuff on here. So it's right here, it kind of tells you all the different barrels that this has been filled in. Hudson butts, refill butts, Tavesa puncheons, bourbon hogsheads, Tavesa hogsheads, and bourbon barrels. So this is very much a European and American oak aged single malt. It does give you a bit more information about the percentage of time it's spent in each of these on the back. And so I'll also share here, it says, so the Macallan Edition 3 is the result of a collaboration between our master whiskey maker, Bob Delgarno, and Roja Dove, one of the world's most innovative and respected perfumers. Exceptional oak casks are the single greatest contributor to the outstanding quality, natural colors, and distinctive aromas and flavors of the Macallan. So it does sort of actually mention natural color there, but I'm still a little bit unsure. Roja brought his skill to this distillery, nosing a range of whiskey samples and interpreting the character and aromas he encountered. Bob then utilized his articulation of aromas to select dominant notes, balancing the dried fruits and citrus of the Hudosa cask, the light vanilla flavors of the bourbon casks, and the florals and fresh cut oak of the European and American oak casks, with the sherry element and heavier notes of Tavesa casks, which the Macallan is renowned for. So a lot happening in this dram. Pretty interesting story, and it definitely, it's kind of cool that they've brought in some folks outside the whiskey industry to test the boundaries, but we'll give this a shot and see how it turned out. Okay, so let's get into the nose, taste, and finish review of this. And then, as I mentioned, chat a little bit about the value, and I'll share my final thoughts and give this a score. So right away on the nose, it's very bright, very fruit forward. I'm getting some red apple, really strong red apple, also some pear. There's a dark berry note too, which I can't quite pin down, but it's definitely there. Also the vanilla. So I did mention that bourbon barrels are part of this. It's definitely showing up here a bit on the nose. So a little bit of nutmeg and some floral notes as well. All in all, pretty nice nose. Okay, let's give this a taste. Launch it. So on the palate, very full mouthfeel. It's creamy and sweet. That kind of classic sherried and bourbon cask is really asserting itself in pretty good balance. Also getting that kind of typical Macallan sweetness. There's some dark cherry and plum. As it develops, the vanilla again is kind of asserting itself. It's kind of a mild oak. So the barrels are definitely showing up a bit more on the development here. Also a little bit of spice too, some clove, a little hint of ginger. And then we're also getting, as it kind of goes into the finish, kind of medium long, there is kind of a smoke, a little bit of a sulfuric alcohol type flavor left in the finish, a little bit of floral, a little bit of apple, and then some of that orange as well is kind of there on the finish. The finish definitely is drying, about medium length. I'm going to put a little water on this and see what else we can get out of it. But so far, not bad. Okay. So bringing this down a little bit in ABV with the addition of water, not getting much difference on the nose. It's still very much bright and kind of fruit forward. Perhaps a little bit more citrus and a little bit more vanilla, but all in all, it seems to have taken a little bit of water pretty well. And the nose hasn't really kind of got diluted, nor has it really brought forward anything else happening in this. So I'll give this another try here. So with the addition of water, it is a little bit sharper. As I mentioned, there was a little bit of an astringency of kind of alcohol, sulfur, specifically in the development on the taste. That seems to be asserting itself a little bit more. Also the kind of ginger, almost a little bit of a mintiness as well, seem to be kicked up a notch. Also getting a little bit of dark chocolate now with the addition of water. So all in all, I mean, the water hasn't done a whole lot in terms of opening this up, but also hasn't diminished it much. So it's kind of, I would recommend, you know, add water as you'd like to this one and drink it, whether you like it neat or the addition of water. Either way, you'll be safe. Okay. So as far as the finish goes, still quite drying, still a little bit astringent. That apple, lemon, still there. Not much more coming out with the additional water on the finish either. It's still about medium length. Maybe it's shortened a little bit with the additional water, but all in all, not bad. So regarding the value of this, so these edition series, as they've only come out annually. And so this is definitely something that is a little bit exclusive and is going to be getting increasingly harder to find, especially as we head into 2019. As I mentioned, this is from 2017. Right now in the United States, you get this for about $110 to $130. I mean, if you're a collector of Macallans and just want to store one away later in hopes that it like grows in value or something sometime down the road, you know, maybe it's worth 110 to 130 bucks. But, you know, honestly, it's a little bit pricey given kind of what I think you're getting out of this. It's definitely an interesting dram, but that's definitely a high price, especially if you're really just a Macallan fan and looking for a good Macallan sherry malt. I mean, you can get their, you know, 12-year-old sherry much, much more inexpensive than this. All right. So final thoughts here. I mean, this is it's a solid addition to the whole Macallan edition range, but it's not a world beater. And at this price, especially at this price, and you know, it's offering a fewer surprises and complexities than I found with the Macallan Edition 4, which will be linked at the end of this video, so you can check that review out too. Honestly, I mean, this is a dram that I think for folks who just straight up love a sherry Macallan with a little bit of extra floral and a little bit of you know, nuance on the nose, but not too many extras. So as far as the score, I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5 stars. So we recommend trying or grabbing a bottle up at a good price. So I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you next time here in Rabbit and Red Reviews. Let's launch it.